Hey guys, it's Kim here and welcome back to my Game of the Year feature. Today I have a very special guest. It's the super lovely Zoey!
Hello, I'm the super lovely Zoey.
How you doing, Zoey?
I am great. How are you today?
I am very good. I'm a bit tired from all the Christmas fun and cheer and work.
Yeah, I know that feel.
So, do you have a list of your top 5 games of 2013 that you found super awesome for me?
Yes, I have a list of 5 games, 3 of which I feel very strongly about, and 2 of which I added just to make 5.
Shh, you're not meant to say that. That's like behind the scenes. Awesome. Well, should we start with one of your ones that you've chosen just to make the numbers? So, in at number 5, what have you chosen, Zoey?
In at number 5, I have chosen Fire Emblem Awakening for the 3DS, which was released back in February.
Yeah, oh, nice choice. I love a bit of Fire Emblem. So why is it in at number 5 for you?
Well, basically when the 3DS launched, I had it came with like Mario or something, and I pretty much just didn't play it, and it kind of gathered dust. And then a couple months later, I was like, I kind of want to use this. I paid a lot of money for this, and Fire Emblem came out, and a bunch of other games. Like I think I bought like 5 games at once, and Fire Emblem was the first one I put in, and I can't even remember what the other 4 I bought were because I just played that non-stop basically for like 2 weeks straight. It was absolutely crazy. Like, I've never played a Fire Emblem game before, but suddenly it just clicked. It was just perfect. It was awesome. I started the game like once, and I played it on normal where like no one died and stuff. They couldn't die or whatever. And I got like all the way up to, spoilers, the time travel bit where people come from the future or whatever. And then I was like, actually, this isn't really how it's meant to be played. I'm not really getting an attachment to these characters. So I just deleted the save and started all over again from the beginning on like the hardcore mode. And like then the game just suddenly, like, it was even, I don't know how to explain it. It just completely clicked, and I was like, okay, I have to make sure all these people survive every single mission, and it was absolutely crazy.
Maximum respect to you, Zoey, because like, yeah, you definitely did a lot better in that than me. Like, I just pussied out and went for normal safe mode. But yeah, so that was your number 5. So in at number 4, what is your 4th game of 2013?
In at number 4 is DOTA 2,
Dun, dun, dun.
which was in beta for loads of years, but was actually released this year, so it's definitely a game of this year.
Yeah, and yeah, so DOTA 2, oh my god, you're the first one in our group to say DOTA 2, which is surprising given how much this group plays DOTA 2. So yeah, why is it number 4 for you?
I think I'm possibly the one in the whole group that has played it the most. Like, according to Steam, I've put 2,000 hours into it.
Oh my god!
Which is kind of ridiculous. but what I love about it is that, like, the whole group plays it. Like,
yeah,
every night pretty much we always have at least one game going with like Xylus and Hannah and Ravs and whoever, and it's just, that's why I love the game. Like, I'm terrible at the game, I'm really bad at it, and it's really hard to learn and get into, but I get to play it with all my friends, and that's amazing.
So, now I have a pretty good idea what I think is going to be a couple of your top 3 games. So let's see if I'm right or not.
Okay.
So in at number 3, what is your 3rd game of 2013?
You said you had an idea. I can't just say what it is because then you'll just say that you thought of that.
Okay, well, I think it's going to be Scribblenauts?
No,
maybe?
no, Scribblenauts
no?
isn't
Oh.
on this list at all.
Oh my god. Okay. How about, well, because I think I know what your number 1 is going to be, but I'll just say it now, and I think it's going to be Pokemon XY.
Pokemon X and Y is my number 3 game of the year.
Oh wow! I'm like some kind of psychic.
So yeah, this shouldn't come as a surprise to this being on my Game of the Year list, because Pokemon is like my thing. I love Pokemon,
yeah.
And Pokemon X and Y is just the perfect next iteration of it. It's like, you know, the transition to 3D is absolutely perfect. Seeing like Jigglypuff in 3D is absolutely adorable, and all the features that they've added to it, like streamlining it. Yeah, like you had, I did competitive battling and stuff in previous generations, and you have like EV values and stuff, and they're really hard to do that in the previous generations, but now it's just all completely laid out for you, and you can see a little graph and stuff, and it's just a lot easier to get into all the more in-depth stuff as well. It's just awesome.
Yeah.
I just love the game.
What I love about the game the most, and I have to admit this, is just like your excitement of it. Like, just, you know, knowing you and being your friend and like listening to you play it was just like, it just made it even more joyous to play. And that probably sounds really, really weird.
No, I'm so glad that I can do a playthrough of it, because like if I had just been playing it by myself, you know, I'd have got the chess pin, I'd have called it Shoe, but I wouldn't have been like talking to it and like interacting with it. And now that I've actually put that in videos, like I genuinely feel like Shoe is like my best friend, and I could just pull him out of the 3DS and hug him and stuff.
Oh yeah, I keep playing the Pokemon Me stuff so much. Like if I don't pay, you know, if I'm not careful with it, I will end up just spending ages just like playing with my little Pokemon. Like it's like some kind of giant Tamagotchi simulator.
Yeah, like,
and I'm like,
all the little things like that. They've added like just stuff. They've just added stuff, if that makes sense. Like you've got the game, you've got the same game there's always been, where you just go up to the Elite Four, catch them all and stuff. But now there's like so many more things you can do at the side, like the Battle Mansion and the Pokemon and Me stuff, and the online interface is just really good as well, with the trading and the battling. Like it's just a complete package. It's just really well made, and it's the 3D is just perfect. Like the battles, it's I could just talk about this for like 10 minutes. I just love everything about it.
I think that's definitely what I love, is like how much easier the online stuff is. So it's so much easier. Like it really made me impressed, like how easy it was to just jump in and out with your friends, to trade, to even like chat with them using like the voice chat, and like and just meet up and battle people. Like, because I don't think like Nintendo really nailed that before. Like Pokemon Company really nailed that before.
And they seem to like Nintendo seemed to be completely on the ball with this. Like they weren't that great in Generation 4 and Generation 5, their first attempts at online, but now they're adding stuff like the Pokemon Bank app as well, so you can transfer Pokemon easier and stuff like that. Like it just feels like they're actually putting all of their effort into it, and it's making the most amazing experience ever. Like I cannot wait to get all my Pokemon from the last games over to X and Y. I will definitely be showing those off.
And what do you think about the Mega Evolutions as well? Because oh my god.
Yeah. Like when that was first revealed, like people were like, "Oh, well, Nintendo have run out of ideas. A Charizard can evolve now, lol." But it's completely different to that. It's like an alternate battle form. It's not an evolution. Like they did it a disservice by calling it an evolution, because really it's an item that changes your form and changes your stats.
Yeah.
It's not an evolution. But yeah, it's totally cool. Like I did Mega Gengar in my Halloween episode, and like that just looked absolutely amazing. Like that is probably the coolest one I've seen so far. Gengar's one of my favourite Pokemon, so seeing that he gets something that awesome is perfect.
I think for you and me as well, to like see our kind of favourite Pokemon from Generation 1 like return and then undergo this amazing change, so they look even like badassier. It was just like, oh my god! So I love that.
The first time I saw Jigglypuff in 3D, I was pretty much speechless. I was just staring at it like for like 5 minutes. I was like, yes, this is perfect.
So yeah, Pokemon XY in at number 3 for you. So what does that leave for number 2?
Now that I've like gone crazy about Pokemon, I'm kind of regretting putting it at number 3, because I feel like it should be higher. So can 2 and 3 be like equal instead of putting Pokemon below?
Joint,
because okay, number 2 is Starbound, which came out early access this month. I don't know if that counts as a game of the year, because technically it's not out till next year, but whatever, we'll roll with that.
I think I'll allow you that.
So yeah, like Starbound is something that like I've been following it since pretty much day one, since as soon as I found out about it. Like people that follow me on Twitter know how many tweets I did about Starbound like months before it was even out. And then this is what made the Game of the Year moment for me. Not so much the game itself, as amazing as that is, but to have the developers give me the chance to do like that early access preview of it and like release that video at midnight. That's not something I've ever done before, and I felt so privileged to, because I had so much enthusiasm for it. I was able to deliver that enthusiasm, and hopefully I helped out them by making more people want to buy it or whatever. But it was just an amazing opportunity, and that was really cool.
So what is it about Starbound in particular that, like, really, for you, like, is the best thing ever?
I mean, it's my genre. It's like, it's really hard to find games of this genre, like Scribblenauts and like Starbound and like Minecraft, I guess, where it's just a complete sandbox, and you can just do whatever you want in it. You can just make stuff and do stuff, and you create the story. Like, the story doesn't really exist in Starbound, you make the story. Like, I'm a Floran with a mushroom hat, so I'm a mushroom princess now, and I'm gonna try and spread as many mushrooms across the universe as possible. It's just, that was kind of, that's actually not really a unique story. I do that in Minecraft as well, but still.
Stick to what you know.
Yeah, totally.
That's
but,
like
yeah.
your calling card.
Yeah, so it was perfect, and it's just, I'm gonna go crazy about this one as well, I think. There's just so much to it as well. And this is already like absolutely mind-blowing how much stuff you can do, and how crazy the monsters are. Like, all the monsters are procedurally generated in like random parts, so you never see like the same one twice. And also, just to connect that to Pokemon, in a recent patch, they added pocket Pokemon ball type things, and you can catch the monsters and battle them, which is amazing.
Wow, so no wonder it's number 2 for you. Like, that is the perfect game.
That is like, and I cannot wait to see where that goes. Do I get to say that as my game of the year for 2014 as well when it's released? Because it probably will be. I'm
going to hold you to that. So, like, in 2014, when we do this again, you better have Starbound in here again.
Totally. Definitely.
Right. Well, so that is in at number 2. Which leaves, I must admit, I'm a bit puzzled as to what your number 1 is going to be. So, big drum roll. Zoe, what is your number 1 game of 2013?
Basically, in August of this year, a game was released, and I paid it no attention at all. I was never going to buy it. And then slowly over the next couple months, I got messages from like fans on Tumblr and stuff saying that I really should check out this game. It would be perfect for me.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, okay, fine. And then it went on sale, like in the Steam Autumn sale, and everything just seemed to come together to make me get this game. Like, the world wanted me to play this game. And so I bought it, and that game is Gone Home. And...
Oh, of course, yeah.
Yeah, I played that on my channel. I finished the game. I think I picked up like every single note and letter and everything you could possibly do. I captured the whole story in my playthrough. And like, this isn't an exaggeration. That was the most beautiful experience in a video game I've ever had. The most emotional, the most genuine. Yeah. Like, I can't stress how amazing that experience was for me. Like, I was crying in the videos when I recorded the final bit, and I was crying when I was editing it back and listening to what happened, and I was crying again when I watched it on YouTube when I had finished it, and then like I watched it a couple days later and I started crying again, and then I added the song from the credits to my Spotify playlist, and now I cry whenever that comes on.
Oh, Zoe!
I know, but it's not like sad crying. It's like feeling how amazing those two people in the story were. Like, it was just, it really touched me. It just felt, it's just so good. Like, I'm probably gonna cry again now. I'm gonna stop myself from crying.
Don't cry again. Oh, that's so. It always amazes me when, you know, when people nowadays, they think of video games, they think, oh, like Battlefield, Call of Duty, you know, all these kind of big explodey things. But it's like, we're at a point now when there are video games that genuinely make you feel a connection and, you know, and stir those emotions within you. Like, for me this year, it was The Last of Us, you know. So, I'm so glad you chosen that as your number 1.
Yeah, I've never played a game where the characters in it have felt real. Like, they felt like people that I could actually know, that I could actually go and visit. Like, all the other games, like, they have characters in it and they're always kind of stereotypes, and they're kind of like, yeah, okay, well, that guy's kind of cool, but there's no way he could do that in real life and stuff like that. But these two people in the story, like Sam and Lonnie, it was just like, yeah, those guys are real. That's like real people. I could just go and high five them if I wanted. It was awesome.
So that's a pretty strong kind of top 5, you know, even though you said that 2 of them you just chose like off the cuff. Like,
you asked me to do this, and straight away I was like, yeah, Gone Home, Pokemon. And then Starbound came out, like, when you asked me to do this, so I was like, yeah, I'll add that too. And then I just struggled to think of any other games that had been released, because pretty much Gone Home and Pokemon had, like, taken over. Like, I couldn't think about anything else. And
You should have just said like, yeah, in at number 5, Pokemon. In at number 4, Gone Home. In at number 3, Pokemon.
In at number 5, Pokemon Y. In at number 4, Pokemon X.
Oh dear. It wouldn't surprise me to find out though that you've bought both copies and you've played through both copies.
That is, can I give away a little behind the scenes spoiler here? Like,
oh, go on then.
For my Pokemon playthrough, when I did the Halloween episode, I battled the spooky ghost that had the Mega Gengar. And that was me on a second 3DS with Pokemon Y, who had gone all the way up to the routes where you could catch ghost Pokemon, made an entire team out of them, and then challenged myself to a battle on the video.
Oh my god.
I put 50 hours into that save for that one episode just so I could show off Mega Gengar. It was kind of silly in retrospect.
That is dedication though, and that just shows how much you love Pokemon. Wow. Wow, mad props to you for that.
Thank you.
That's insane. Are you going to be battling yourself anytime soon?
I wanted to do the same thing for Christmas with like a Delibird and stuff like that, but it was too much work doing that first video. I can't do that again.
Yeah. That's that one special. So yeah, guys, go back and watch that video now. What are you doing watching this one? Oh, wow. That is brilliant. Well, thank you so much for joining me, Zoe. I think you've got an amazing list there. Yeah, so here's to 2014, where we'll see more Starbound.
Yay.
Awesome. Cheerio, everybody. Bye.
Bye, everybody. Bye.